Hello crochet crafters. Today we're going to learn how to make a puff stitch baby blanket. I've got a baby yarn here and a size 5 USA F crochet hook, and let's get started. I assume that you know how to get your yarn on your crochet hook, and you're going to chain 168 chains for this baby blanket. So you're going to start here and you're going to chain 168, and when you've done that you can meet me back, and I'm just going to do a sample to show you how that works. And you're going to do 168 though if you're actually interested in making your blanket, or you can just do a sample with me and see if it's something that you like to do. So once you've chained 168, you want to skip the first one and you want to wrap your yarn around your crochet hook. You want to go into the second loop and pull it through. So now you have 3. You're going to wrap around again and you're going to go through the same hoop and pull it through again. So now you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to wrap it around again, go through the same loop, crochet stitch. So now you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now you should have 7 on your crochet hook. This is it. You wrap that one around, and that one right there, you pull through all 7. And then you chain 1. You're going to skip the next one. You're going to wrap it around and go through the one after that. So you're skipping 1. You've got 3. Wrap it around, pulling it back through. You've got 5. Wrap it around, pull it back through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. You wrap it around and you pull that one through all 7. Chain 1. Skip the next stitch. Wrap it around. Go through the stitch. 1, 2, 3. Wrap it around. Go back through the stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wrap it around. Go back through the stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wrap it around and pull it through all 7. Chain 1. Skip a stitch. Wrap it around. Go through the stitch after the one you've skipped. 1, 2, 3. Wrap it around. Go through the stitch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wrap it around. You're going through the same stitch again. So you should have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wrap it around and pull it through all 7. If you can't pull it through all 7 at the same time, don't worry about it. Just do it a little bit at a time if you're new to crocheting. And this is kind of a, it's a tough stitch sometimes to do if you're not, if you're a brand newbie at it. So chain 1. And for my example, I'm at the very last one. So if you've gone ahead and done the entire chain for your Afghan blanket, then you can pause this and come back to me after you've done it. So I'm going to just do one more for you. Skip 1. The very last one I'm going into, I'm pulling, I've got 3. And I'm going to complicate things a little bit for you because I'm going to work where I began. This is called your tail, where the work that you began. And I'm going to take my tail and pretend it's just 1, and I'm going to work it back into my stitch. So I've actually got 5, but I've got more than that because I've got my tail in there, but that's okay. And then I've done my puff stitch. So see, I have absolutely no tail. I have nothing I have to cut off, nothing I have to work back in with a crochet needle. I'm kind of lazy that way. So when I turn it, I'm going to go ahead and chain 1. That kind of ends the row. And then I'm going to chain 1 again. And when I come back around, you can see this puff stitch, how the chains that you've made, you've got the spaces between the puff stitches. So for your second row, you're going to pretend this is a big blanket, but for your second row, you're going to go ahead, you're skipping this puff stitch, and you're going to go in between the 2 puff stitches, and you're going to grab it. You've got 3. Again, grab it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Grab it. You should have 7. And again, you don't have to go through it all at once if it's too hard, but if you can, that's fine too. You're going to chain 1, and then you're going to skip this, and you're going to go through between the next puff stitch. 1, again the same thing, 5, you should have 7, chain 1. And this is going to be pretty much the exact same pattern for your blanket. Oh, I worked in the wrong place. That was good that I showed you that. You've got to work between the puff stitches, not up here. So 2, I'm wrapping at 7, and there's the puff stitch, chaining 1. This is my last puff stitch here, and I just wanted to show you how to end the row. So when you come back around, you might be to the point where that's your last puff stitch there, and that would look funny. You can't turn it around and make another row. So what you're going to do is chain 1, and you're going to go into that puff stitch right there, the last hook right there. And you're going to wrap it around. Puff stitch 1. And so when you've turned, you'll have that puff stitch right there. Oops. You're going to go into the next one. I just want to show you what this is going to look like. So you can see on the corner there. Again, you're going to have all of your blanket to do, so it's going to be a really good learning. Again, we're at the end of that puff stitch, so you've got to go over here, and you've got to go in and make your puff stitch there so that you're ending the row properly, and then you're going to chain 1. So it's, see how that row ends. You're going to have to make your puff stitch in that very last link as you turn it, your work, in order so that you have a, straight blanket. But anyways, that's how you do your puff stitch, and thank you for joining me. Please visit me on Etsy at lorieshandiwork.com.